everyone, it's Rena. Welcome back to my channel. So I know that the lighting is a little bit funky today, but I'm just kind of trying to figure out where I want to film. I got my makeup in the background, so at least that's, you know, like a plus. I am at my parents' house for the summer between semesters at school. In the fall, I'll be going back to start my PhD, so yay. Anyway, so that's why my setup is like changing over the last couple videos, because I've been trying to figure out where I want to actually like film over the summer. It's, you know, I've just kind of been bouncing around wherever the lighting is okay. And it's a little uneven today. Obviously got a little bit of like a, what is that, Two-Face or whatever from Batman going on with like lighter over here and darker over there. But forgive me, please. I've been meaning to film this video for the longest time, and so now I'm finally doing it, and I just want to get it up there for you guys. So it is on the Dose of Colors EyesCream palette. Dose of Colors is an indie brand. However, they are moving to Ulta now. They're being, well, not moving, but they're being sold at Ulta as well. So I don't know if I classify them as an indie brand anymore now that they are being sold in a big box store. But for all intents and purposes, when I purchased from them, they were an indie brand. So I just put up a video about their lipsticks, their liquid lipsticks, which I actually really, really love. So go check that out if you're interested in hearing about their liquid lipsticks. So, but today we're going to talk about the EyesCream palette, which just got re-released. So this was, I don't remember exactly when it was originally released, but it was originally released once or twice with a couple restocks here and there. And then it was gone for a long time, and I was pretty sad because like I really wanted it, but I kept talking myself out of it for one reason or another. Well, they came back with like their birthday sale. I think it was either birthday or Memorial Day. I can't remember which one. They had two sales right around each other, and I ordered during both sales. Once to get a lipstick to try out, and then the second time to get the EyesCream palette and another lipstick. So this is $50 normally, which is pretty expensive, I think, for like an indie brand eyeshadow palette, but I got 20% off, so I was okay with paying $40 for it. That's a lot better to me. So it has adorable packaging. It looks like a little, I don't know, like an old-timey shop with this little awning type detail on here, and it is textured. It has ice cream on here, which again, you can kind of see the texture and the gloss. I just think that Dose of Colors has some of the best attention to detail in terms of packaging. It came in this box, which I've been saving because I wanted to show you guys. And I was like saving it even though I meant to film this review like a week or two ago. It came in this adorable pastel pink box. When you open it up, it has this mint background with little ice cream cones, which I hope you can see the ice cream cones. And it says, "Treat yourself. You deserve it. Hashtag ice cream palette." And it says, "Dream in color, live in color," right down here. And it just had pink packing peanuts. And I just think that every little bit of Dose of Colors packaging is really well thought out. And just really, it feels nice to get a package on them because everything fits, everything matches. They really put a lot of effort into that. And I appreciate that, especially when I am paying, or, you know, I paid $40, but when you're paying like $50 for an eyeshadow palette from an indie company, it's nice to see that money going to things like this, I think, personally. To see that they didn't just like, yeah, this packaging is cute, but they didn't just throw this into a brown box and ship it off. They actually have like a special box just for it. I don't know. I just think stuff like that is really, really cool, and I appreciate it. So the back of the box looks similar. It tells you the net weight of everything. There's 14 grams of eyeshadow in here, which is pretty good, I think, considering how many of the shades are in here. It's cruelty-free, gluten-free, paraben-free, talc-free, and phthalate-free. Free? You know, you guys know I can't say stuff like that. Anyway, this is just a little cover, so you pull it off. And it is just the cutest packaging. I'm a sucker for this. I know some people find it to be juvenile. I think this is still really cute. I don't think this borders on Too-Faced territory yet, because Too-Faced, totally cute and stuff like that, is a little too much for me, and the Clover palette's a little too much for me, but this is really, really adorable. So it has these glossy ice cream cones, which I think just so cute, and light pink pastel with white polka dots. Same thing on the back, just the white polka dots, and it gives all the ingredients right on the package, which, bless. I love stuff like that. I personally am not allergic to too many things that I know of, although I had an incident at Ulta the other day, so I might do like a PSA video. on that. But it's nice to know that the ingredients here are here just in case either you're gifted this eyeshadow and you don't look it up, or you have to reference it for someone else. It's great to have it right here on the package. Now let's just get into opening it. You get 10 eyeshadows of varying finishes. So there are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 matte and 5 shimmer, which I think is a great ratio to have in a palette. And as you can see, you get some really, really beautiful pastel shades, and you get some nice chocolatey browns. So I really do think that the colors in this palette embody ice cream to me. I think they really hit the nail on the head with that, and the names of the colors are super fun, and I just love it when companies take it all the way. They think about every little detail. So the first color here is called Berries and Cream. It's a light cream matte shade. Really, really beautiful. I have it on my brow bone today. This color here is Mint Chip. It's a metallic green mint. It's like a true mint. Sometimes I have a lot of bluish mints in my collection, but this is like true green mint, and it is on the center of my lid today. This is Sherbet, and it's kind of like a bronze metallic. This shade to me is one of the least unique in the palette. You can really find these a lot of places. A lot of these browns are a little less unique, and honestly, I haven't used them too often. So, Cone is a matte. I don't even know how to explain it. It's kind of a mid-tone warm brown matte, but with a little bit of a mauve-y tone to it. It's very beautiful if you mix it with the shade down here. This shade is Hot Fudge. It's a matte, deep, rich, dark brown, and it's really beautiful. I don't use a lot of brown, but this is actually really nice with a lot of these other colors mixed in, like into the outer corner, just to add a little bit of depth and dimension. You need the tiniest bit of this shade. You really, really don't need a lot. This one is Banana Split. This is one that kind of gives me a little bit of an issue. It almost looks like I have a crack in this eyeshadow. But anyway, this one gives me a bit of trouble just in terms of texture. But once you work out the texture, it does look really nice on the lid. It's just a really yellow toned gold. This is Blueberry Swirl, which is one of my favorite shades in this palette. Oh my goodness. It's this rich, plummy matte, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I have it in my crease right now, and you can just see it blends out everything just so beautifully. This is Bubblegum, which is a metallic pink. This one kind of has similar issues to Banana Split over here, but I did use it in my inner corner, which you can barely see in this lighting, but it's there. I like using these two as inner corner colors just because I don't love the texture of them all over the lid, but in the inner corner they're okay. Lavender Honey is a really gorgeous, unique shade. I mean, it's just this beautiful matte, bright lavender lilac shade. Like, I have it in my outer corner, my inner half, I guess outer third, inner third. I can't do fractions, I guess. And it's just beautiful. I do tend to wear this one over a white base. I'll get to that in a little bit, but it's one of my favorites. And this is Double Scoop, which is a metallic chocolatey brown. So color selection I think is great in this palette. You have a lot of options. I haven't been using the browns that much because that's just not what I do. But if you were looking for a well-balanced palette, I think this is extremely well-balanced between colors and neutrals. So, and textures. I think that in terms of the amount of the different textures, you have half matte, half shimmer. I think it's great. So I'm going to go ahead and do swatches with a brush, since that is how I apply it to my lid. I already have primer on my hand, so these are over primer, but with a brush. So I'm going to show you guys all of these colors, and then tell you about my experience making looks and stuff with it. So while I'm doing the swatches, I'm just going to tell you guys that I got this right before I went on a mini vacation to South Carolina, and I told myself that I was only going to bring this palette, and that's what I did. I only brought this eyeshadow palette. This is the only one I worked with while I was on vacation. It was only two days, so it wasn't a big deal, you know, not a long vacation. But I wanted to challenge myself to use it and also test it for you guys while I was there. And it went with a lot of the outfits I brought with me, so that's how I ended up putting this to the test, was kind of, can I make a bunch of looks on vacation that go with a lot of things? So that's kind of how I tested these shadows out, just so you know. I did wear them for like 3 solid days in a row, and I did today's look, and I did a couple other looks before vacation. Okay, swatches are done. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. This is just over primer. We're going to start, I guess, we'll start here, I guess. There's Banana Split. You can see that it's kind of sheer. It definitely needs to be used wet. In my opinion, it needs to be used wet or over a white base. This one is Blueberry Swirl, which is just that gorgeous one I have in my crease right now. Really great, swatches beautifully. Bubblegum is also kind of like Banana Split, very sheer and almost chunky. Both of them have a chunky texture to them, and I think it's really weird. Lavender Honey is that matte lavender, obviously. Really, really beautiful, swatches great. This is Double Scoop, that metallic brown. Swatches amazingly. It's beautifully pigmented, just not a shade I reach for. Then over here we have Berries and Cream, which you can see is just a matte cream shade. It's a great transition, highlight, whatever, base shade if you do that. I personally don't put base shades down, but if you do, it would work well. Mint Chip, which is just absolutely stunning, super metallic. While the other ones, Banana Split and Bubblegum, kind of have a little bit of that chunky texture, Mint Chip doesn't do that. So there's Sherbet, which is like that beautiful copper shade. Not a shade I wear ever because it just makes me look sickly, but it is a really beautiful shade and it does work really well. This one is Cone. I really love this in the crease. It works super well mixed with Blueberry Swirl to create a really balanced crease shade. I think it's absolutely gorgeous and absolutely essential for this palette. And then that is Hot Fudge, which is the dark brown matte. Really, really beautifully swatched. So, coming up with looks for this palette, I think that, I typically just wear all the fun colors. I've done a look using Banana Split and Mint Chip. I've done a look with Lavender Honey and Mint Chip, which is kind of what I did today. I've done Bubblegum all over the lid with Blueberry Swirl in the crease. Like, you can really do a lot of fun looks with this because you have some colorful mattes like these two, and I think that's awesome. So, I think that the color selection is really great. Quality-wise, the mattes blend beautifully. This color in the crease and Lavender Honey, they blend like a dream. Mint Chip blends like a dream. It's beautiful. But then you have a couple of those metallics that just have a chunky texture. And I'll tell you, I wet my brush with usually Urban Decay setting spray, which is totally a waste, and I really just need to get a spray bottle of water. But I've been wetting my brush with this when I want to apply a metallic foiled eyeshadow. And I'll be honest, I'm okay with doing that most of the time with most palettes. So I do it a lot with my Mono Renaissance palette if I'm using Vermeer or Primavera, the two shimmers in there. I'm fine with that because they perform beautifully without it as well. It's just I want that intensity. This palette, other than Mint Chip, Sherbet, and Double Scoop, so basically Bubblegum and Banana Split, the yellow and pink, I need to wet my brush for them to go on pigmented and not patchy and chunky. So that's concerning to me. To me, that's two shadows in this palette that need special treatment in comparison to other shades in the palette with the same formula that don't. So that's my biggest drawback with this palette. Do I think it really detracts from how I feel about it? No. I love picking up this palette and using it. These two colors, oh my gosh, I just swatched it inadvertently. Okay. These two shadows alone, Mint Chip and Lavender Honey, made it worth it for me, and I know that sounds crazy. Well, okay, I'd say Mint Chip, Cone, Blueberry Swirl, and Lavender Honey. Those four made it worth it to me, so like that breaks down to like $10 an eyeshadow in my mind. And I'm okay with having paid that. I would have paid that for a quad of those four because they're great. And I also love Berries and Cream as a highlight. I love shades like this. And this one is perfectly balanced. It's really neutral and it works beautifully with all these shadows. So the fact that there's two eyeshadows in here that are kind of duds doesn't really bother me considering the rest of it is really, really functional. So overall, I like this palette. I think the packaging is adorable. I think the theming is amazing. I love the names. I love the color selection. You just have to be willing to work with a couple of the shadows that need some extra help. Also, it works well to use NYX Milk Pencil or any other kind of white base when you're using a lot of these shades. Lavender Honey works really well on its own, but it really helps to put it over something like this just to kind of make it pop a little bit more. Since it is a white base matte, those can kind of have, you know, a little bit of issues every now and then, depending on how you apply them, if you pat them or swipe them. So I recommend using something like this with a couple of these shades. And with those two metallics, I really think you should use some kind of foiling method, just because they can be a little bit chunky, and that's disappointing for a $50 palette. But again, I paid $40, so I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. It is limited edition. They brought it back for one more run, so I think there's still some on their website if you wanted to grab them. I feel kind of weird doing a review for a palette that's going to be gone soon, but at the same time, maybe this will help you with the other Dose of Colors palettes that have come out. They have like are they called Marvelous Mauves and something Bronzes? There are two different palettes that they came out with recently, and I'm sure they're going to come out with more palettes in the future, so since they have been so popular. So maybe this will help you in terms of knowing how the mattes work for the Marvelous Mauves, which I think their mattes are fantastic. I'm just going to pop in and show you the look again, just so you can kind of see. I know my lighting's not the best, but I really love how diffused Blueberry Swirl looks into the crease, and I just think the highlight looks super matte and gorgeous. Not chalky at all. These mattes are beautiful. So that is my review of the Dose of Colors EyesCream palette. I really like it. The colors are so my style. I really, really always feel like a bubblegum princess whenever I wear it, because I have like the mint and the pink and everything. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, even though this is a limited edition palette, and I hope I wasn't all over the place and that I tried to get my thoughts across. So some overall, you know, 5 like bullet points, you know, fun packaging, good color selection, the mattes are fantastic. Some of the metallics are great, but others really need help. And that's basically how I would break down this palette. So I hope you guys are having a good day. Let me know if you have any questions down below. Again, this is $50 on the Dose of Colors website. You could probably find it on blog sales and stuff. I've seen some on the Makeup Exchange Reddit before. So if you're looking for it and it's sold out on Dose of Colors, you know, just check around. It's pretty good. It's not the be-all, end-all palette, but it is really nice, and the mattes are fantastic. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already if you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.